Hey everybody, it's Sherman Ray, and this is the TNC podcast. Got a really interesting show for you today, guys. We really do. We did some changing up here, folks, and I'm really I'm hesitant because of some of the stuff that's going on in front of me here, but I hope you like the new digs. We're in a new place right now, and we're excited about that. But for some reason my microphone keeps cutting out on me and stuff like that, so I hope that you're able to stick around with me. Before we get going too far forward, folks, really encourage you, hit that subscribe button. It's over here someplace. Hit the subscribe button so that you are able to stay up with all the stuff that's going on the broadcast today. And when we come back, folks, we are going to talk a little bit about something very interesting. It's going to be about the why Democrats are losing the mail vote. And this is probably one of the most important topics that we're going to be talking about in quite a while, because this is something that has been brewing. We knew it was going to happen. They didn't think it was going to happen. So stick around, folks. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about about why we think the Democrats are losing the mail vote. And I think you're going to love this. So I'll be back in just a second. You guys stick around. The Sherman Ray, this is the TNC podcast. We'll be back in just a minute. Folks, we are back. This is Sherman Ray. This is the TNC podcast. Thank you guys for being a part of the broadcast. So we're doing some new things here, folks, and I'm really kind of ambivalent. And you probably won't notice it. You know, maybe you folks will notice it, but some of you may not notice it. But we are doing a few new things here with the broadcast, and I hope you're able to dig it, because it's been something we've been trying to work on for a long time. Make things just a little different. Just some things are always different, and so I hope that you love it. And if you see me looking away, it's because I'm looking at other monitors, that kind of stuff like that, and I just want to check out what we look like here on our monitors, because we're in kind of a new studio, and it's just kind of freaking me out, just a little bit. Okay, for some of you, this might be the first time you're checking out the broadcast. And if this is you're the first time you're checking out the broadcast, then I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the editor of the Nevada Conservative. We are online at our website at the Nevada Conservative at thenevadaconservative.com. You can get us on YouTube, Truth Social, Spotify, Rumble, all those places and stuff like that too. And we've also got this broadcast. If you want to just get the audio portion of it, you can actually get it on Spotify. So it's always cool to get that way too. So today we're going to talk about something that has been, it's probably one of the biggest things that we've seen in a long time. And what it is, it's the fact that the Democrat Party has been losing the mail vote for some time now. And it is not because they are, ultimate truth tellers or anything like that. It's because they've been. We're going to go through the numbers today, guys. This is something you're not going to get on the mainstream media. So I really want you to pay attention to some of the stuff that's going on here too, because we've been tracking it. We've been tracking this for years, about why the mail vote has been leaving the Democrat Party. And if you're a voter and you've been paying attention to this, you've seen this happen over and over and over again. So stick around. You're going to love this. 2024 election made it very clear what was going on with voters. American men, especially younger men, are walking away from the Democrat Party in record numbers and heading straight to the GOP. They really are. This isn't just a fleeting blip. It's a structural shift that's flipping battlegrounds like here in Nevada, where I'm at, and powered President Trump's historic comeback. And today we're going to break it down. We're going to break down some of the data by age, by race, plus the real reason why, and what we believe is the real reason why it's that we're seeing this shift. So buckle in, folks. Buckle up. This one explains why the gender gap is not just a little gap. It's a friggin' Grand Canyon. I mean, it really is. It's just an amazing thing. So, well, is the trend real? And I guess that's the big thing, because you look at some of these folks that are on TV and they're talking about, oh no, there's no reason why that's not true. There's no real trend that shows that males are leaving the Democrat Party. Oh, but yes it is. Yeah, it is. This is pretty good. Trump in 2024. So let's talk about some overall numbers here, okay? Overall, the men in 2024, Trump won men by double digits. Okay, that's 55% to Harris's 43%. And these are some of the, these are real data points. This was a Roper poll, and it's an exit poll, and that's a clear Republican tilt compared to closer 2020 splits. Men supported Trump more than in any recent cycle. And I think as we go along this, guys, you're going to start saying to yourself, this doesn't even make sense. Post 2024 party data, the 2025 surveys shows men overall leaning Republican by 12 points, with Gen Z men showing the biggest rightward surge in a generation. And this is huge. By 12 points, oh my gosh. Trump, and here in Nevada, Trump flipped the state 50.6% to 47.5% with record turnout. And Republicans hit 87% here in Nevada compared to Democrats who were 80%. And get this, guys, I want you to get this. Latino men, that was one of the biggest gains that was there. It was huge. And it's a huge puzzle, or piece in that puzzle in Nevada. And here's the thing that's very interesting, and I'm going to stick on this for just a second. With Trump running on a platform of deportation, getting those people out of the country who are here illegally, you would think that Latino men would say, "Oh no, forget that. We don't want to have nothing to do with that." Latino men were saying, "Yes, we want that." And that is the crazy part about it. Well, maybe it's not crazy. See, because Latino guys, just like black men, want law and order. And if these people are cutting the line, are coming here illegally, then guess what? They should not be here. Here's a key takeaway. And this isn't vibes, it's votes. Democrats lost ground with men across the board. Okay, across the board. Men, white men, black men, Latinos, across the board, they lost them all. Young men, old men. Okay, we're going to go through the numbers here. While the GOP had nothing but gains in men's, and this is amazing. So we're gonna look at this in just a little bit more. Let me give you one more data point here. Okay. The men supporting GOP or Trump by age and race in the 2024 exit polls. These are the exit polls. Okay. I want you to get this, okay? These are from major sources like Pew, Navigator Research, Tufts, Circle, NBC, Fox, Analysis, and Roper. The direction is unanimous that men, okay, by ages, 18 to 24-year-olds, okay, these are like under 30 Gen Z young men. Trump won them 56 to 57% to Harris's 41 to 42%. Okay, these are big, and this is real numbers. Okay, when Biden carried this group by 16 points in 2020, this is interesting. Men 18 to 29 broke for Trump by 14 points overall. 30 to 45-year-old men. Okay, once again, 52% for men. For Trump, Harris 45%. Okay, men under the age of 50. Okay, or excuse me, over the age of 50. Trump just dominated them. This is amazing. Okay, dominated them at 54 to 59%, almost 60%. Okay, this group has been reliably GOP leaning for decades, but by 2024, that margin had gone stronger, and it grew slightly among men 45 to 64. And these are just great numbers here, guys. So what we're going to look at, what we're going to do is we're going to look by race here in just a second, okay? Because we need to take a really quick break. But these numbers are stunning. And I know there's Raphael Warnock was on TV and he was talking about this, and he was going, "Oh no, it's just a blip. There's no way black men are voting for Trump or anything like that." Raphael, I think you need to smell the coffee on this. Okay, there's ample proof that not only are black men voting for Trump, but across the board, you are seeing some amazing, amazing numbers here. Okay, so when we come back, folks, we're going to talk about race, and then we're going to actually, in the second half of the show, we're going to talk about what I think is something that is going to probably flip your mind on this. Okay, I think it's going to probably get you even more, because I think what impact does religion have on this? Okay, because there's a big push on religion here, folks. Okay, so anyways, when we come back, let's talk a little bit more about what by race, what men are leaving the Democrat Party. Okay, so I think you're going to love this, guys. Okay, so this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. We'll be back in just a second. Stick around. Well, I hope that you folks are digging this. I mean, I really do. It's this has been something that we've been talking about for quite a while now. How and why men are leaving the Democrat Party, and not just a little bit here, a little bit there, but in droves, they're leaving the Democrat Party, and they're going over to the GOP. And this is the topic for the day. I mean, it really is. And I want to apologize to you folks if some of you are hearing some kind of splattering in my voice or something like that. It's all of a sudden we have to have this gremlin that is just in my earbuds here, and my earbuds are going in, they're going out, they're in, they're out, and I just don't understand why it's doing that. But it is actually doing. And you may not hear it, but I can actually hear a little voice in my ear that's saying stop, start, well, that kind of thing. And so it's driving me absolutely bonkers. So we started talking about this big shift in voting with men, as far as them being a part of the Democrat Party and moving from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party. And I first started noticing this close in 2020, 2021, and it was actually my grandson. So my grandson is of voting age now. Now I think he's 22 now. So he was just about at voting age at the time. And one of the things that he said is that he said, you know what, all my buddies are, and he was in high school. Yeah, so he was just in high school, and he said something very interesting. He said, you know what, Poppy, that's what they calls me, Poppy. And he says, you know, all my buddies, we hate Trump. And then the next year, all of a sudden they said, oh, we love Trump. And I go, wow, that's very interesting. Why are all you young men, and these are all young African American guys, so we're not talking about, white kids or anything like that. We're talking little African American kids. Why all of a sudden are you guys, wanting to vote for Trump? And they were saying, because my grandson was a part of that group of kids who were caught up in the whole, COVID thing. And I'm going to take my earbud out here for just a second, folks, because it's driving me absolutely crazy. He was caught up in the whole COVID thing, and it ruined their prospects of getting scholarships. It really just hurt them, and so there's a whole generation of guys um, that are right now in their 20s who are just devastated by by the Democrat Party, and they literally they blame the Democrat Party for what's going on in their life, and they have every right to, because during the Democrat rule in 2020, they won the election in 2020, they started a campaign that began to demasculate. Is that a word? I'm making up a word. Um, a demasculization of men, and that, I believe, was the beginning of the crack in the armor of the Democrat Party. And so and now 6 years later, we're starting to see it as not just a little gap; it is a chasm that has happened within the Democrat Party. And folks, guess what? This is getting crazier each and every time. So let's talk about the breakdowns, because we're talking about some data points here, and I'm going to try to get as much in this really quick because I want to get to the religion part of this. By race, we're just looking about men now. What is happening with male voters that is showing us this great divide within the Republican Party, and especially with what's happening in the Democrat Party. But because this is by race, by okay, white men. Okay, 60% of white men vote for Trump. 60%. That's a Fox voter analysis that's held steady. Generally, it's a reliable group of voters. They are the core, and they are the core of the shift, though. Okay, so it's not as though we can say that you can always rely upon white guys. Okay, but they are definitely the core of the voters. But let's talk about black men. Okay, Raphael Warnock. I hope you're listening to this. Okay, black men, 21 to 25% of black males. Okay, are voting for Trump, or voted for Trump. And that's up from a low double digits in 2020. Okay, so this last election cycle, 2024, you saw 21 to 25% of black men voting for Trump. Gains especially strong among young black men. And that's why I told you about my grandson. He's one of them. Okay, black men under 45, 30%. 30%. Now I bet you black folks, their heads are ready to explode when they heard that, but that's true. These are these are bona fide data points here. Let's talk about Hispanic men. Okay, Hispanic men, and I want you to understand here, Trump ran on that he wanted to close the border, deport, the whole thing. Okay, ICE, the whole thing. Okay, well, now what would you guess the numbers would be? Do you think they would be higher than blacks, or do you think they'd be lower? Oh, much higher. 48 to 54% voted for Trump. 48 to 54%. Okay, I'm going to say it again. 48 to 54% of Hispanic men voted for Trump. Okay? This is almost like what you got for white guys. Oh my gosh. This is a massive shift. It's up 10 to 18 points from 2020. This is huge. Latino men under 40 were key in states like my state, in Nevada, where we have a huge Hispanic population, but they were voting for Trump way higher than they were voting for the Democrats. Okay. Wow. So I want to say this once again. Okay. Black men, 21 to 25%. Hispanic men, 48 to 54% voting for the GOP. And these are big numbers, guys. And these are, once again, these are not outliers. These are not just, it just happened every once in a blue moon. These are huge numbers, and these are numbers that you cannot deny are happening in and I think we need to find out why, though, so let's do this. Okay, because I know I'm gonna put my earbud back in because maybe I can hear this time. Okay, we need to find out why, though. Okay, why are these trends happening? And when we come back, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about it, is why these things are happening. Because I think you're gonna be surprised at why these men are voting for them. Okay, so this is Sherman Ray. This is the TNC podcast. We'll be back in just a second. Stick around, folks. You're gonna enjoy this. Stick around. All right. The numbers don't lie, folks. They just don't lie. We're talking today about why Democrats are losing the male vote. Yeah, and I think it's because there were never any men in the Democrat Party, anyways. I got to tell you, these men are just whipped. But that's just me. I just kind of put it this way. But if we look at the numbers across the board, folks, we've been kind of looking at this in the first and the first and second slots here, that we looked at across the board. Black men, white men, Latino men are all shifting towards the GOP, and not small numbers, folks. The majority of men, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're Latino, are voting for the GOP. But why? Why is this happening? Okay, let me give you some really quick hits here, folks, and then we're going to move over to a thing that I think is even more telling. Okay, well, and I think it makes sense. Okay, one is the economy. Okay, the economy, young working men, rated inflation, jobs, economy is the top concerns. Okay, pessimism about the Biden-Harris economy was sky high, which means you can't do the job. That's basically what was going on. They said you just couldn't do the job. Trump's retrospective approval among these groups was positive. Men want results, not slogans. Okay, what it is they were tired of listening to the BS from the Biden and Harris people, and they still are. I can guarantee right now they are very bullish on Trump, even though right now we've got a lot of blowback because of Iran, that kind of stuff. The men are still on board with Trump right now. Okay, and I know a lot of people are going, well, you know what? People don't want to be in this war. I can tell you right now, I think the guys are. The guys want it. The guys want this done with. And why? We don't want to have to deal with this in another year. And we know that Trump will do it. Okay? We're willing to roll the dice with Trump. And so I'm tired of the prognosticators saying, oh, we have to get out of it. We have to get out of this war now. We have to get out of it in a week. Okay? The guys will say, you know what? I will stay there. I'll stay there a year. Right? When I keep hearing this, I go, no, are you out of mind? To get rid of the Middle East conflict, I'll stay there a year. Oh no, I got no problem with that at all. Okay, right now we're just beating the crap out of them, and I think men have no problem at all watching this happen, and saying, look, this is what we men do. Okay, we have no problem watching this fight. Okay. So I'm going to go on to the second part because we're going to run out of time. And I really don't want to run out of time on this. But I was looking at some other data points here, folks. And one of the things that you probably noticed is that there's a lot of guys going back to church. Okay? I mean, a lot. There's a huge move. And many of you know I'm a pastor, and so I keep an eye on stuff like the spiritual matters and stuff like this. And so one of the things that I was looking up is I was going, hey, is there any data about the shift of men going to the Republican Party away from the Democrat Party? Is there any data points that hit on the fact that more men are going to church and they're having an experience with the Lord, okay? And the answer to that is yes. It's definitely a correlation there, okay? So let me give you some hard data points here. Then I think, so that's why. So I'm sorry about this. I lost my earbud, so if you hear some weird stuff here, folks, it's because I'm losing power in my earbuds here. Okay. A Gallup poll from 1924 to 25, released in 26, said 42% of men ages 18 to 29 say that religion is very important to them, and that's up 14% from just say 22 to 23. Okay, young men stayed flat or dipped to 30%, but young men now surpass young women in religiosity for the first time in 25 years. What does that mean, guys? That means that guys are going to church a lot more, and they're starting to think about this more. Are there some things that are jiving here? More men are voting GOP than there are Democrats, and I'm going to make it very plain to you guys, because the Democrat Party tends to stand for LGBTQ, transgender. They tend to stand for the abortion rights. They tend to stand for your kids not getting your education, but your kids being sacrificed on the altar of expediency, which is anti-Christianity. So I'm not saying that all Democrats are atheist pagans, okay? What I am saying, though, is if you look at the platform for the Democrat Party, it ain't Christian, okay? There's no doubt about it, okay? When you're fighting for gay and lesbian stuff that goes against the Bible, then you cannot say you're Christian. When you're fighting for marriage not to be between a man and a woman, then you're not fighting for the Bible. When you're going against, and here's another point, is that when you're talking about that we hate Israel, okay? When the Bible is very clear about this in Genesis, it says to Abraham, it says, for those who bless you, Abraham, I will bless you, and those who don't bless you, I'm not going to bless you. They're going against what God says in the Bible. And that's what the Democrats are fighting for. Republicans, on the other hand, are pro-Israel Donald Trump. They're pro-marriage. They're pro-life. They're pro-family. They're pro that whole thing. And that's what guys are. And they're pro the men should be the head of their household. Donald Trump is so masculine, it's ridiculous. He's a grandpa. Okay, his kids are rock stars, and when guys see that, they go, "I want to be just like that guy." And Donald Trump, the first in, can't imagine when was the last time I saw this ever happen, and it just happened Thursday, is they were reading the Bible. Guys, I want you to understand this. They were reading through the Bible starting, I believe it was Thursday. Don't quote me on this, okay? It was last week. Definitely, it was last week. So they're reading through the Bible, and Donald Trump in the Oval Office was reading from the Bible, reading to the nation. When was the last time that ever happened? A sitting president did that. It hasn't. Okay? The only time you've ever seen, maybe I may be wrong about this, was when the founding fathers were here. That was the only time that you ever saw a sitting president going, okay, guess what? I'm going to read the Bible in public. Okay? Democrats, if you told them right now to go ahead and read the Bible and swear your allegiance on the Bible, their head would spin around. They'd be spitting pea soup out of their mouth. Okay? And I've been very facetious about this because there's a lot of people who quote unquote say they're Christians who are Democrats. Okay? But unfortunately, you've got to look at their works. And I don't see it happening. So, I got a lot of stuff here, guys. I really do. I've got so much information about this, and maybe what we'll do is we'll do this on another broadcast. But there is a clear correlation to men coming back to the Lord and them voting GOP. There's also a correlation between men and the whole woke movement. And we talk about this a lot on this show about, is there are men having to apologize for being men in the Democrat Party? And as a result of that, men are going, screw that, I'm a guy. Okay, I think that's part of the problem too. And we're going to run over here. I'm just sorry because our affiliates, you guys have to watch this. Okay, men are having to apologize for being a man, and guess what? Guys should never have to apologize for being a guy. And if you're in the Republican Party, you will never have to apologize for being a guy. Okay, we're guys. We love being guys. I can't imagine being anything other than a guy. I don't want to be a girl. There's nothing about a girl that I want to be. I love my wife just the way she is. And she loves me because I'm a guy. And guess what? Republican women love Republican men as men. All of our flaws, all of our positives. Democrats, on the other hand, want their Democrat men to be Democrat women. And that is why most guys are leaving the Democrat Party. Okay, so we're gonna have to end, guys. I'm sorry about that. And I want to apologize for the audio because it's probably sounding kind of weird because of I'm having some technical difficulties here. We'll try to get that fixed for the next broadcast. Here's my message to Democrat men: ditch the Democrat Party. Okay, ditch the Democrat Party. Don't try to revive it because now you're gonna have to deal with Nancy Pelosi, AOC. You've allowed the Democrat Party to go wherever it's at. Okay, don't even try to revive it. Okay, because it's done. Okay, I would say this: if you want to save your soul, you want to save your masculinity, you want to save whatever you want to save, become a Republican. Okay, we will never make you feel ashamed for being a guy. As a matter of fact, we embrace being a guy. God, guns, and you're right to be a guy. Okay, that's okay. God, guns, and guys. That's what we do. And guess what? Our women love us this way too. Okay, they put up with us, and hallelujah, I'm so glad to be a guy. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you once again for being a part of the broadcast. This has been Sherman Ray for the TNC podcast. Once again, we're going to go over this probably again tomorrow. We'll kind of finish this up. We'll talk a little bit more why I believe that men have left the Democrat Party, and we're going to probably touch on why there's so many women that are in the Democrat Party. Okay, so anyways, if you'd like to get the show, definitely go on our website, thenevadaconservative.com. Go to Spotify, all the other social media platforms that are out there and stuff like that. You can actually get our broadcast. Okay. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative Podcast. You guys have a wonderful day. We will see you again tomorrow for more of the Nevada Conservative Podcast. You guys be blessed. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.